Getting a bank account is one of the first crucial steps when settling in Germany. And in this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know, from choosing the right type of account to gathering the documents that you'll be needing and getting your account up and running. So let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the types of accounts you can open in Germany. There are three main types of accounts to choose from depending on your needs. The most common type is a Girokonto, which is a current account. This is the one you most likely need for everyday transactions like receiving your salary, paying bills, and so on and so forth. And if you're looking to save for short-term goals, then you might consider Tageskonto, which is a savings account. But in my experience, most often than not, when you open an account, you automatically get both. Then the third account is a sparkasse, which is a fixed-term savings account. This is for long-term savings and often comes with even higher interest rates, but your money is locked for a certain period of time. Of course, based on your need, you choose which account you want to open. In this case, we have not included a business account, for example, and things like that. We're just focusing on simple bank accounts. Now that you know which account you want to go for, let's talk about the first step, which is choosing the right bank for you. In Germany, you have two main options: traditional banks and online banks. Traditional banks like Deutsche Bank, Commerzbank, Postbank, and so on and so forth, offer in-branch support and perfect if you prefer face-to-face service. On the other hand, online banks such as N26, ING, DKB, and so on are more popular for their convenience, easy and quick setup, and English language support. However, everything is managed online, so there's no physical branch. Now, when choosing a bank, you need to consider factors like fees, ATM access, and whether you will need services in English. So some banks charge you fees depending on the threshold that you meet in terms of what comes into the account. So banks, for example, like Commerzbank, charge you a fee if you are having less than 700 euro per month coming into the account. Some other banks, like Postbank, for example, charges you a fee if you have less than 3,000 euros coming in per month. At least this has been my own experience with these two banks. Some other banks don't charge you a fee as a student. Some don't charge you a fee at all. Then in terms of ATM access, when you use a different ATM from your own bank, you are charged a fee for using that. So you want to think about where you stay or where you spend most of your time, and if you're able to access ATMs easily with the bank that you're choosing to go with, except you don't care, so then whatever. And of course, English service. If you are very, very particular about being able to talk to the customer service in English, then you want to pay attention to the possibility of that in each of the bank that you consider. Step number 2, paperwork. You need a few key documents to go with, so ensure that you have these documents with you. You need a valid passport or ID card. I would say go with your passport, because most often than not, they rather have your passport as a foreigner, of course. You need a proof of address, which is your Anmeldungsbescheinigung. You get that after registering your apartment. I've also made a video about registering your apartment. I'll put a link to that in the description, or there'll be a card up here. You're going to find that video somewhere. Then you should have your visa or residence permit, and sometimes you might need your German tax IDs. So some banks don't ask for that, some do. So if you can have it, of course. If you don't have it, of course, just go without it. They might not ask for it anyway. Step 3 is to make an appointment. Schedule an appointment, especially if you're going with the traditional bank, because most of them require you to visit the bank in person. Even if you open the account online, sometimes you'll still be required to come to the office in person, especially if you're from certain regions of the world. For example, I wanted to open an account with Commerzbank. Not I wanted to open an account with Commerzbank. It was open online, but I still had to go to the office, the branch physically, to still submit these documents again. Then I was wondering, why did I even bother with trying to open it online? I could have just done all of this physically and not stress myself. But anyway, it is what it is. Step 4 is where you actually open the account. For traditional banks, you will need to bring your documents and fill some forms. A bank staff, of course, will help you, will guide you through the process. For online banks, however, the process is a lot more seamless. Just upload your documents, fill in the forms, and you're good to go. Step 5 is to verify your identity. For traditional banks, of course, while you went there to open the account, you go with your documents, you go with your identification documents and all, and the staff would, go do all of that physically. But if you're going with an online bank, then it's usually through a video call where you do the whole verification process, or you'll use the post-dent service where you'd have to go to a post office to get yourself verified. The next step is to activate your account. Once everything is processed, you will receive your debit card, your PIN, and any other information sent directly to your mailbox. Just follow the instructions to activate it, and you're ready to start banking in Germany. Now, you need to bear in mind that non-EU citizens face stricter documentation requirements, which means that sometimes you might need to prove, more than what every other person have to, as well as certain restrictions for account opening for certain banks. So some banks don't open account for certain people from certain parts of the world. So you need to check this out and be sure that you're able to open an account with that bank based on the country that you come from. I know it's a bit painful, but that's the reality. Now, I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, give it a thumbs up and share to someone else. Until I see you next time, do have a fantastic day. Bye.